This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
You choose what satisfies the desire in that moment. Sweet filling, savory nutrition. I choose to include what I think will provide the most satisfying parts of my story. My existence is an unfinished book, consisting of constant changing chapters, titles. My life started out with the beginnings of the children's story. It was the boxcar children turning into a raisin in the sun, peppered with the shades of Sophie's Choice. But conditions change. My life is many things, mutating into a series of short stories and anecdotes that flow together, tied by common themes and intercepted by some blank pages yet to be filled. It is no secret that I am physically different, aesthetically, verbally, as well in both character and mindset. The difference is made obvious by my size and stature, but if that goes unnoticed, my matching attitude makes this clear. Throughout my travels around the world, I've absorbed experiences. The encounters I've had with many types of people never fail to remind me how much of my own self is a creation constructed by life experiences. Within this book, people can and will choose what experiences are part of me fit them. Think of it as a sarcastic self-help book written with the intent to encourage common understanding of common sense, with the ultimate goal being to discover common ground in these uncommon political times we live in. And I. You only get what I allow you to see, and that's my choice. Myself is for me, and I control who sees and in what parts they get to view through the looking glass. I share my special moments, happy thoughts, hobbies, relationships, dark secrets, and mistakes only with whom I choose. I lack respect at times for people who share too much, which I believe is usually for attention without any intention of changing a thing. Those people seek only pity and rewarding, "Oh, that's so brave," responses to fill for some kind of validation. I've been in the room with these people, and I'm the guy in the room sitting back saying to myself, "This fucking guy." I will explain how the times have changed in this era of politically correct culture, with an ever-evolving narration and standard, from where they used to be. When the common thought was, funny thing about killing a man, you take away all he has and all he's ever going to be, it is now mutated to, funny thing about an accusation, you take away all he has and all he's ever going to be. We will attempt to discuss how political events directly affect us or how life goes on in spite of those events. This book will encourage one not to take things so seriously in this crazy world and at the same time take issues on case-by-case basis. Maybe changing the view from tribalism to do what's best for meism. It's okay to disagree with your tribe. Tribes are not sports teams. This book will give you insight into how my brain works and my thought processes, where common sense and life experience come into play, and not what side of the fence I live on. Why now? For a lot of years, people have watched me out in the public and in the ring, basically as a performer. That's fine. But what I do now is a little bit different. Being on television using my words as a career comes with a whole different set of rules. And people want to understand where I'm coming from. For me, television isn't that different than wrestling. Before the lights come on and it's time to start the show, I'm stressed out. Nervous, already second-guessing myself, but once it's time to go, that's when I step up. That's when I do what I do. Preparation, discipline, having a plan, but still being spontaneous are how I approach my business. I was like that as a football player, as a bodyguard, as a wrestler, and now as a political and social commentator. Anyway, now that people are hearing my voice every day and listening to my words, I want them to know what I'm really about. I want you, the fan, to understand where I'm coming from. The stakes are different for me now. I feel like I have a lot to say and a lot to share, and I'm going to do that in this book. Maybe it's an exercise, the chance for me to figure out a little bit more about who I am. That's okay too. Bottom line, once you finish listening to this book, you'll know a lot more about me. And if I can get you thinking about certain things, who knows, maybe you'll learn a lot more about yourself too. Never too late to learn about yourself, right? Okay, let's get to it. Chapter 1, In the Beginning. I did not have an easy beginning. My home was broken before I entered it. I'll explain more in a little bit, but when I made my first appearance in this place in February 21st, 1973, had I known what lay ahead of me in the future, I probably would have turned right back around in my mother's room before yelling to the doctor, "Leave me the hell alone. I'm not coming out." My dad's family had a farm. My grandfather, his dad, had made a lot of money in stocks, but eventually was wiped out by the demand from his 14-plus kids, my father included. I did like going to the farm. I can always tell.